Alrighty, folks. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. We are watching Alexandra play some chess today. She is live at this tournament. I think it's in Valencia, Spain. This is the third Monteo Levede International Open. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. In fact, I will take any and all tips on how to pronounce the name of this tournament. But I think the game is gonna be starting soon. It's supposed to be starting at this time. And Alexandra is gonna be playing black. We're gonna be watching her play. Gonna be super fun. Let me see if I can get both chats open. I'm streaming hopefully to Alexandra's channel and to Dojo's channel. Those that don't know me, I'm Kostya. I'm from twitch.tv/ChessDojoLive. So say hi if you're in the chat. Hey, we got Cinti. Krabby Crab. July 24 hours. How's it going? And yeah, I think Anna Maya is going to be playing next to Alexandra. I think they put the streamers together. A lot of tournaments, they do this when streamers play, so because it makes it easier. You can hook them up to DGT boards, and they always get the same board every round, so it's kind of easier to set up the tech from each game. Time control is 90 plus 30. Yeah, Felix, that's right. Classic 30-minute delay at the start of a turn. Most tournaments in the US, they definitely don't start the first round on time. A lot of them do, actually. A lot of them very efficient. But usually, people want to say something. Tournament organizer wants to come out. They spend thousands of dollars. They're not going to get any of it back. And they just want to say a few words like, thank you for coming, to my tournament. Thank you for playing chess. And honestly, I'm guilty of this too. But yeah, I hate the pregame announcements as a chess player. So, I'm just I'm usually showing up a little bit late. Number one, because that's just who I am as a person. But number two, because I really, before the game, I just want to stay focused. I don't really want to talk to anyone. I just want to be sitting at the board, calculating, and just kind of trying to get ready for the game. There's Alexandra. She's been walking around getting the stream ready. Hopefully she's able to just focus on the game. I feel like that's so important for playing OTB chess. The less she's thinking about the stream and how's it going and the tech and all that stuff, I think the less distractions, the better. Yeah, usually first round of the tournament rarely starts on time. So that's pretty normal. Alexander's opponent, his name is Galvez Torres. Let me actually, I think I have his full name here. Yeah, Guillermo Galvez Torres, representing Spain, so probably a local player. This is a pretty big open. I think it's, I believe it's one section. Lots of grandmasters, IMs, lots of title players. Alexandra looks like her FIDE rating is 1859 as listed. So she's playing down round one. My feeling is that she was very close to playing one of the top boards based on just because she's playing way down with opponent's rating being 1300. But I don't know. Of course, these days you can never be too sure. Everyone's playing online. Oh, they're using accelerated pairings. Okay. Well, yeah. Good luck trying to understand how those work. No, actually, if someone could explain, I've never understood accelerated pairings. I think I played in one or two events that use them. I just show up to the game. I just play who I'm paired against, right? I don't really think about it. But yeah, I've never understood how it works at all. But in general, I think it's In general, I like playing down in the first round to kind of warm up into the event. I think when you play up your first game, you might not be ready, for such a big fight. You play like strong player. So I'd rather be the stronger player in that situation. I'd rather be the higher rated player. You get like a nice little warm up game, and then you're kind of ready to go for the next games. For me, that's kind of ideal. Playing down round 1, you win, then you play up round 2, and then the tournament kind of starts. So okay, this is going to be 9-round event, 90 plus 30. I'm going to try to follow some of Alexander's games. I don't know how many I'll be able to cover, but I worked with Alexander recently. We did a couple lessons together. Worked on her calculation, so I'm kind of invested now. I'm invested. I'm rooting for her. I'm definitely rooting for her. I'll also be rooting for our friend Anna Maya. We see her there in the background. Maybe we'll follow her game as well. If Alex's game is super slow. I'm rooting for all the streamers because it's tough. It's tough, guys. Like when you're a streamer, you have to spend so much time doing stuff that's not chess. It's like you got to be setting up the tech and the mic and the streaming software, and the camera. And it's like you got to make sure, all this stuff. And it's like you get very little time for actual chess work. And then when you are streaming, sometimes you're streaming chess, sometimes you're just streaming blitz. That's not really helpful. The most helpful stuff in chess generally isn't like super great content. It's just going to be kind of like slower and not super exciting or engaging because chess work, is like very serious. So it's hard for these streamers, myself included, to get a lot of like quality chess time in. So I'm always rooting for them to try to represent. I think it is intimidating, I'm sure, to be playing on camera. And that's been kind of like the new meta, is like streamers showing up with cameras, people watching their games, and I wouldn't be surprised if some players like weren't into it and didn't want to be filmed. I don't know like about like the legal stuff or anything like that, like it's a public tournament or whatever, but I think just in general, I'm sure some players would just like rather not be on stream or whatever. But you can also reposition the camera so it's like you're just watching the streamer and the player isn't in the shot. Presumably Alex asked her opponent Guillermo if if he minds, and he said it's cool. But a lot of these kids, a lot of these players definitely don't seem to mind being on camera, so it doesn't seem like a big deal. But it's nice to have the option. Like you can always just change the angle, and then that's it. The opponent wouldn't be on camera. You still see the board. We're still going to get the DGT board, right? So we're not going to have to try to follow the OTB picture, which is actually not too hard. This is actually I think a very reasonable angle. The water bottle isn't my favorite. Unfortunately, there's no way to communicate to these players, by design, right? There's no way for me to say anything to either of them. But yeah, it'd be great if Guillermo could move his water bottle out of the way. I don't know if there's anyone local on the scene, or maybe is Anna Maya streaming? Is her chat? So I would go to her chat, ask the kid to move the water bottle. It would just make slightly better. You guys see what I'm talking about, right? Just make it a slightly better picture. I mean, just to, if he could have it like where Alex has it, like just to a side, not blocking the board. That would be much appreciated. Okay, looks like they're laughing. What's going on? Tournament was supposed to start 10 minutes ago, and players are just like discussing. I don't believe, Felix, that there is a delay on the video, but I promise you there's no way for us to communicate with Alex, you know, during the game. Nor would we want to. We would not even want to, you know, cheat or anything like that. Is he allowed to have a cell phone at the board? Generally these days, most tournaments, pretty much most FIDE tournaments have a no cell phone policy, in terms of you're not allowed to have your cell phone out. Like your cell phone's not allowed to be on. But depending on the tournament, a lot of tournaments say like you're allowed to just turn your phone off and keep it in your pocket, right? Or you can leave it in your room, or you can leave it in your backpack. So the main thing, it's like your phone has to be turned off. And I think he's checking, like making sure it's off. Because yeah, it's such a nightmare as a player. It's like, oh, did I turn my phone off? Like you don't remember. That's like the word, like, yeah, I think it's better to just like leave it in the room. A lot of tournaments, they have like a collection area where you just walk up by the TD desk and you can check your phone in there. But not every tournament has the resources to do that. Some tournaments, they just say like, just put it on the table, which is a little bit awkward, but it kind of makes sense that it's out in the open. All these things, honestly, guys, I mean, in my opinion, are a little bit superficial. I don't know if anyone has seen Batman, Dark Knight, Morgan Freeman, you know? He like infiltrates this like insanely guarded, you know, Chinese corporation. How did he do it? How did he do it? Two phones. So, wow, amazing. So it's like, okay, you can have a phone like on the table and then still. So anyway, it's like, yeah, some tournaments, I think they don't care if you have it in your pocket or not. It's just kind of like on you. So if it goes off, then that's going to be a forfeit. So it's up to the player to make sure that it doesn't go off. And obviously you're not allowed to be seen like looking at it or having it on or anything. So, you know, it's a bit of an honor code system, I would say. I know at a lot of US tournaments, the way it would work is when you would go to the bathroom, there would be someone by the bathroom and they would just kind of stop you and be like, "Sir, do you have a phone?" And then you'd be like, "No." And then they'd be like, "Oh, okay." And then you just go on in. I mean, they did have a metal detector at the desk, but I never saw them use it. Like maybe once, you know, like a 5-day event. So yeah, a lot of the measures are a bit theatrical. Let's see, who's Anna playing? I think I have the tournament open somewhere, so we can maybe, just curious about the pairings. Oh, and I can post a link to the tournament in the chats for anyone that's curious. Actually, let me do a pinned comment in Dojo's chat. I still don't know how to pronounce this tournament. I honestly don't even know what to call this tournament. Because the name, it's like the third CA, which I assume is Catalan. I'm really not sure. Third CA Monteo Livete Open. Is that correct? Third? I honestly have no idea how to say it. Or how to call it. Like, what would be the shorthand way, like the simple way? You know, U.S. Open, World Open, Monteo Livete Open? Because on the site, it was very confusing. It just says, like, no, on the site, it says Third International Open. It's like, what? Third? Yeah, I need some Spanish lessons. That's for sure. need to make this. Need to make this comment so I can pin it. Monte Olivete, is that better? No offense to Dojo's chat. Somehow I feel like Alexandra's chat might know this one. Third International Open? Yeah, I don't know what to call it. Oh, Anna Maya is playing 2400 IM. Oh, Lily Carizzi also playing 2373. Wait, did the oh, the games have started. Here we go. And C4 on the board. English. I'm not sure if Alexandra did much prep or if she was expecting this one. Let's see. Looks like she's spending her time here. Now, Alex and I, we did a King's Indian lesson. I don't know if she always plays King's Indian all the time, but for King's Indian players, I do like the move G6 in response. Oh, she played G6. Wow, we didn't even talk about this, but she knows this one. That's cool. All right, DGT board hasn't started yet. I wonder if there's going to be a tournament delay. In which case our video is a little bit awkward of the board. But we can at least follow the moves. We'll see. Hopefully DGT starts working. I don't know. Are there moves on other boards? None of the boards have moves yet. So I'm going to try to follow what I can. So C4, G6, Knight C3, Bishop G7, and G3. So Galvez is going for an English. It's not clear if he wants like Botvinnik setup with E4, or if maybe he'll want like a more classical approach with Knight F3. We'll see. But from Black's point of view, there's a lot of different setups. You can play Knight F6, of course. You can play C5, which is going to be called like symmetrical English. This is what I typically do as a King's Indian player. I'm kind of happy with these positions, but there's many options. D6 is fine. Again, lots of setups with Knight F6. But yeah, it looks like White might be looking for some kind of Botvinnik setup. What's the benefit of delaying Knight F6? That's a good question. The main benefit is that sometimes the knight can be developed to E7. In particular, against the so-called Botvinnik system. Let's say Black goes C5. I've had many games like this, and White does something like so. Or sometimes they'll start with D3, and then they'll go E4, right? Same thing. Here, I think it makes a lot of sense for Black to play E6. In general, it's very risky to go both E6 and G6 in an opening, but here Black is going to play D6 and cover up all the dark squares. And then the knight makes a lot of sense on E7 in these positions because it can also transfer to C6 later on. So this knight will one day hop to D4, and then this knight can reinforce on the C6 square, and we're also not blocking the bishop, which means that White has a very hard time getting the D4 break in. Then if White castles, and then goes like Bishop E3, looking to play D4 and take over the center, now would be the exact moment for Black to like plonk this knight in and then bring the other knight back. So that's how you kind of play this position in 15 seconds. B6, Bishop B7, Queen D7, rooks to the center, look for some F5, King H8 somewhere, and yeah, Black is a good position. All right, wait, let's make sure we don't lose sight of the game. So Bishop G2. No, G3 played. Alex is thinking here after G3. Hopefully we actually get moves, though. I'm not sure what kind of delay is going to be on the board. But yeah, at least we have the video to follow. Time control is going to be 90 plus 30. Wait, so somehow my message didn't get sent. 1 second. One second. Folks, thanks for following. Thanks for following. Also, I had an alert box from Alexandra I can try to add. We'll see if this works. Looks like we have a move. Ooh, e5 played. e5 also seems like a very playable move. So nothing wrong with this one. Can we promote this? No, chess.com doesn't believe in promoting variations anymore. All right, that's fine. That's cool. Right, let's add Alexandra's box so you guys can see her alerts as well. Oh, alert box is live. There we go. There we go. Nice. Nice, man. That's a good alert. I feel like we need to up our alerts game. Look at that. I don't know where to put it though. Does it make sense to block the board with it, or because we're not really using like the No, I think it does. I think you guys let me know if you want me to switch it up. Okay, what did he do? Bishop g2, I think, played, and then d6. Let me add move sounds as well. I feel like move sounds would really up the quality. Okay, so what we're gonna get here is just kind of like a typical King's Indian structure. So I think it should be a position that Alexandra feels reasonably comfortable with. We'll see. Honestly, it's my first time kind of watching her play like a serious game live. So it'll be useful, interesting for me to kind of see how she plays, how she spends her time. That was basically the only thing I told her before the game, like in terms of advice, was just like, use your time, don't use too much time. You know, try to stay balanced. Because she said she hasn't played OTB in like 3 years, so that's a long time. Now she does play a lot on stream, which is good. So I think her form hopefully won't be too bad. But when you haven't played OTB in a long time, like, ooh, you feel really, really rusty. You feel very rusty. You just haven't done it in a while. And you're at the board, you're seeing like these wooden pieces. You know, it's like there's no like flashing like digital clock. There's no mouse. You can't play fast because it's a classical game. Like you got to take your time. There's no eval bar. So yeah. Do we know what sort of performance Alexandra is hoping for in this tournament? I don't know if she's really hoping for anything specific. Like she didn't. It's not like, oh, going for a GM normie. Like, but you know, in general, people want to win games and not lose. I'm sure. You know, it's always on a continuum, right? Like you do well, you're happy. You do really well, you're really happy. You do kind of okay, like, yeah, you're moderately happy. You know, so it always just kind of depends on how you do. My next event will be US Open here in 2 weeks in the States, up in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So that'll be fun. I've played a couple US Opens. Does Alex feel pressure to beat this young man? Yeah, probably. I mean, in terms of the rating, she's a very heavy favorite. But, we're in a post-pandemic era, folks. So, ratings are not to be trusted, especially with kids. We know nothing about this guy, right? He could be playing like online, like 24/7, like grinding. He could be like 2,000 strength already. A lot of kids, like, they just improve rapidly, especially during the pandemic. People weren't really encouraged to go outside very much. A lot of kids stayed inside for a couple of years, did a lot of chess, a lot of online chess, and then there's no tournaments, so their rating doesn't catch up. So, yeah, that's a good comment. Any FIDE ratings under 2,000, I would not trust them for, like, non-established players, especially just right now, because you have no idea what someone's real strength is. Now, we'll probably be able to at least figure it out during the game. I just haven't seen him play at all. My assumption would be that he's kind of dramatically underrated, but you never know. You never know. Okay, F5 played. So White played... He played E3, looks like. Okay, E3, I'm not sure about here. It's probably fine. Alex goes F5, so she's definitely she's trying to maximize her position in the opening. Normally the King's Indian, you go Knight F6 first, both sides develop, castles, and then at some point you move the knight, maybe Knight C6 first here. At some point this knight is going to go somewhere, Black plays F5, knight will come back to F6, and then Black gets this kingside attack, and that's how you kind of play the position. Alex has decided to play F5 first, which is very ambitious because she's just trying to save time on this move, right? If she can get Knight F6 and castles, then she's going to get the exact same structure as she would get in the middle game, but saving like 2 full moves, right? Not having to move the knight back and forth from F6. So if White doesn't have a way to kind of punish this, this would be a really, really nice achievement for Black. A lot of times these early pushes are a bit dubious, but I'm never really sure how White should deal with this. His best move might be like E4, which is a hard move to make if you just played E3. But E4 might be interesting to kind of challenge this this structure. But looks like he played Knight G2, which I would say is a more kind of normal looking move. E4 is something you only play if you're really feel like you have to. So Knight E2 here I think is probably fine. Now, my comment in Dojo's chat didn't go through, which was very, very concerning. Wait, let me send a test comment. Okay, the test comment works. Why didn't my other comment go through? So crazy. Man, we got to get this kid to move the water bottle, especially because we're going to be following the board. Someone must know someone in Valencia, Spain. Go to board 28. It's the 3rd Monte Olivete Club Ajedrez Open International. Board 28. just gently, just move. Oh, 26. Excuse me. 26. My bad. Thank you. 26. Just... Maybe he'll take a drink at some point and we'll get lucky and he'll put it down somewhere else. Okay, let's try this chat. Hopefully this works so we can get pinned. Monte Oliveri International Open. All right, let me see if this other link works. Okay, beautiful. Okay. Pin this message. Let's go. All right, now people know what's up. Great, great. Beautiful. Wait, do we have moves? I heard moves. Did you guys hear moves? Oh, looks like the DGT just started. So C4, G6. I see. All right, so now we're behind. Okay, maybe me and Alex can figure out a way for her to delay the video. Maybe I'll have a way to delay the video. So we can, maybe next rounds we can try to follow live. But we do have the game position. So DGT is going to be, oh, whoops, we lost the camera. My bad. Thank God. But no, that was on me. We do have the live feed. So that's cool. All right, let's make sure we don't miss moves because this water bottle is going to be causing problems. So knight g2, looks like Alex played knight f6. So we have here. Oh, e5. Oh my God. Yeah, chess.com needs to believe in promoting moves. Knight f6 played. And oh, Alex is up. She's walking around. Okay, letting him think about it. That's good. I personally like getting up and walking around quite a bit during games. I just want to let my opponent think. Let them spend time. It gives me a chance to walk around, look at other games. Kind of save some energy. Yeah, the board is delayed, Henry, but also I think it's really fun to see the cameras, right? I think it makes it a lot more interesting than just watching the live, like, because live position you can see, but you don't always 100% know what's going on. But when you can see the players, then like, okay, you can really get into it. Makes it a lot more fun to kind of sweat the player. You can see like, oh, they're spending a lot of time. They're really working hard. Build ratio, I can check people, or I can't check people, but I can submit people. I would suggest if you play against someone suspicious, you report them, because they do. Chess.com definitely does go through the reports, but if you want to send me the names like via Discord or something, I can submit them as well. Happy to help catch any and all cheaters. Okay, looks like he's thinking about it here. I guess he's wondering whether to castle or... Oh, and he does play e4. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. See, I told you guys this kid was strong. I don't think 1300 level player is playing e4 here. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he didn't play it for the right reasons, but to me it looks like a very legitimate move to kind of fight against the structure. Probably black is still fine though, but I do like this move because I feel like if white didn't play this, then black is just going to have a lot of free space on the king side. And so if white castles, black can castle, then you get the typical King's Indian play here. If white ever goes d4, black can advance with e4 and take this space as well. So this actually I feel like is pretty comfortable for black. So e4, it's a very serious decision. So I respect it a lot. I think it's a very, very decent move. Now from black's point of view, I don't know if you have to do anything here. Like white's not really threatening, so you could just castle. You could go knight c6. I think black has a lot of reasonable moves. f4, I don't know if we have to rush with this one. I would say it's probably too early if we're not castled yet to try doing stuff with f4. But this, of course, is a very thematic move. So if, let's say we have castles, castles. If we get castles, castles, then f4, I mean, then we can talk about f4. Yeah. Then we can talk about f4. Sir Dexter. This takes, knight h5. This kind of attack can be very, very dangerous with the idea of bringing all the pieces to the king side. So queen h4 now, that's a huge square for the queen that wasn't available before. One of the big ideas of this like f4 sack would be to get this one. And then if pawn takes e5, of course, bishop is ready to come in, controlling f4 square. Would I play f4 against a lower rated opponent? Well, I don't know. I don't think I would play it in the game situation. Like right now, I don't think I would play it because I don't quite see the point before white has castled, or to just kind of commit. I would most likely just castle here, I think, as black. And then if white castle, then I very likely would play f4. But not just against a lower rated opponent. I would play this against anyone. Because to me it looks like a good move. And if you don't play f4 right now, you might not get another chance because white's ready to play d3 and then cover the square a lot more times. Or even just play f4 themselves. But I would want to do it here because... yeah, I think it's a very decent move. And then if white doesn't take, of course, black gets g5. Black is getting tons and tons of space here. So like h5 is coming next, h4, g4, f3, h3, hg. You know, it's a big attack. It's a big attack. And David Pruess has a full psychological tactics of timing. You're leaving the board to encourage your opponent to think more or less. Oh yeah, maybe me and David should talk about this because I'm a pro. I'm a pro at getting my opponent to spend the most amount of time. Yeah, I'll tell you guys one story. This is the live position here while Alexandra is thinking about it. There is a live board link. Maybe someone can help out. But yeah, recently I was playing a tournament, and I know it's reasonable to me because like rook g1, queen takes h4, you're hitting h3. Yeah, there's a good question. Yeah, on knight h4, if white throws an fe5, it absolutely should be mentioned that black has knight back to f5. Otherwise, this would be like very nice for white. Yeah. So maybe he's looking for something like this. I'm not sure if this works tactically because there's knight g3, but it is something that both players have to kind of consider because it's a pretty critical line. So takes on h4 played. We'll see how quickly white recaptures here because, yeah, I don't think this works. So takes, for example, knight f5, g4, knight g3. And the idea is we're hitting the queen, hitting the rook with tempo. And then rook f7, the key line would be knight e2 check, rook e2, and then rook f7, and black keeps the extra rook. So this looks good for black. But notice, you know, he hasn't moved yet. He hasn't recaptured, which is smart. You always want to like take your time, even if it feels like an automatic move. Unless you literally have only one legal move in the position, and even then you should double check that it's your actually only legal move. You should always consider different options because you never know when a surprising in-between move might turn out to be strong, right? By definition, it's surprising, so it's not going to be obvious. And yeah, fe5 in a different situation absolutely could be working, right? So it's very important to take your time and at least consider 100%. So he spends a bit of time. He realizes knight f5 is good. Gh4 played. Now Alex has her hand in the air. She's very close to playing e takes f4. This is one thing where her time management has been pretty decent. Okay, she's down to 24 minutes, which isn't great, but at least once she decides on something, she doesn't spend a lot of time second guessing herself, which is good. Like she played knight takes h4 after a bit of a think, and now e takes f4 was played relatively quickly because clearly she was already planning on this one and doesn't spend another like 10 minutes, 5 minutes double checking. Okay, now it's pawn up for black. So here begins technical stage, guys. Now this is where you just try to trade pieces, go into an endgame, or maybe you don't trade pieces, you just try to checkmate opponent's king. That's also good. I think this is definitely very nice for black. I mean, it's extra pawn, and we have the positional advantage with a very strong bishop. Like I would definitely think that black's bishop here is stronger than white's bishop because we have a very good anchor square on e5. We have the whole diagonal. White's bishop is blocked. White does have this one target on g6, but as long as we can defend it as black, I think our bishop is better. And I just saw he played queen e6, which I'm very happy to see because I think the endgame, guys, is going to be a very... to me, it looks very straightforward for black. I think there's actually more danger like with queens on the board. You never know, you might run into a counterattack. In the endgame, though, healthy extra pawn, I think we're very happy. Now, we do have to be careful here. Like, for example, I don't think we can snag this one on b2 because there is rook takes f4. Okay, hold on. It's kind of a difficult line. Rook takes f4. Queen takes e6. Rook takes f8 check. Okay, something takes, and then we get this endgame. But here I think white's very happy to trade the f4 pawn for the b2 pawn. So my first instinct here was bishop e5. And yeah, I mean this didn't look fun. Jesse likes it for white. I totally respect and welcome Jesse's opinion and his evaluation. So I'm I'm happy to hear it. But I was thinking bishop e5. I didn't see how white continues. Let's say like if bishop e4, I think like king g7, maybe king h7. Let's say here. So not taking on e6, wanting to go rook a e8. Just without queen e6 could be a problem for white. I mean, well, I see what you're saying. I mean, I'm sure I like black in the middle game as well. Just looked a little bit more dynamic. I was thinking bishop e4 for white. Play this one. Try to get the rook to g1. Queen f3, queen d3. Give the h4 pawn. h4 pawn is gone. Try to put pressure on g6. For sure, black is doing well, but I don't know. I think if I'm black, then I'm very, very happy to see queen e6 because then it's like, okay, I'm not losing this position. I can just play for 2 results. Normally I'm the madman. Jesse's the one that wants things technical. Oh, and bishop e5 on the board. Oh, bravo, bravo, Alex. Well done. I like that she played it quickly too. And now, yeah, it's a bit of a question of chicken because white certainly doesn't want to. White would love for black to take and try to get the bishop to d5. So bishop e4 played, which makes a lot of sense. Yeah, really wanting black to take, and okay, then there would be double attack and something like this. White can take, bishop d5. A lot of options. But yeah, I don't think black should take. I think just defend g6, either with actually any king move, funnily enough, does the trick, even king h8. King h8. King h8 might be a clever move because you have rook g8 in the position. It's like if takes, you can take here and then do this. So king h8 also defends the pawn. King g7 maybe is simpler. But this definitely feels like the first instinct to me, and then rook e8 next. And then forcing white to take on f7. Hey, Crabby Crab, good to see you again. Okay, folks, things looking good for Alexandra. King g7 played. Nice. Nice. She's finding every move. And I can't even say that for myself because I didn't find her h6, h5 plan. So she's absolutely crushing it first game. Time usage has definitely picked up. I think she still has 23 minutes. And Anna Maya's opponent, he's interested in this game. He's like, man, I never get positions this good as black. But yeah, this looks nice. And now it's hard to see what white does. If white had an extra tempo, they would have bishop takes g6, rook g1, this kind of stuff. This would be, black would be losing, like straight up losing, if the position was like one tempo different. But tempo makes all the difference in the world. But yeah, I don't see what white's next move is, because black wants rook e8. And then we're going to trade the queens, double on the e-file. Bishop starts moving around. So definitely liking this for Alexandra. We might see her endgame skills in play. Someone in Alex's chat was saying her endgames are solid, so I'm hoping that's true. Okay, yeah, let's say this line. So rook e2, rook e8 takes. Let's say rook takes. Yeah, there's no rook g2 because of the check still. But like king g2. Yeah, I think this is basically what we're about to get, right? Because white doesn't really have a lot of options at this point. So yeah, to me, I would really... Well, isn't there bishop takes b2? We can snag another pawn. So white maybe has to like go b3 or something. Oh, he played b3 right away. Okay. But yeah, b3 makes sense. So we have b3 here. This is the position, and I would expect rook e8. It would be nice if we could try to go after this pawn, but I think bishop d5, and then we're going to have to play c6 to win it, and this I would definitely not. This I feel like black is way worse off with the bishop on d5 having this square. So definitely don't want that, I think. So I'm feeling just rook e8. And oh yeah, her hand is so close to that rook right now. You just yeah, it's just every fiber in her being right now is itching to play rook e8. Just get the rook in. Start with me. Kid's better than us. Yeah, dude, kid's like Smyslov. He just, his hand makes the right move. b3. Okay, pawn was hanging. I think that's not too crazy. No, Alex hesitated. What happened? Maybe she's thinking about a4 at some point, so she's wondering if rook f8. But no, I really think both rooks kind of belong on the e file here, with the e file being very contested, and then trying to dominate. That's definitely how I would try to win this one. Is look for some opportunity to infiltrate on the e file. Maybe that means giving up the f pawn at some point, but if it means we can get our rooks in and like take a2, then that would be very nice. Main concern, of course, is not letting white get huge counterplay against g6. But I feel like black has enough resources to defend. Like black has rooks. There will be rook g5, in the future. So yeah, it's going to be concrete, and I think black will also need to maybe think about using the bishop. Okay, Alex thinking here. I don't like this, because this endgame is going to get sharp at some point. Oh, what happened? Something happened. The kid just made a weird. I think some kid was maybe making a face. He's like, what are you doing? All right, that was weird. But yeah, the end game, it's gonna get tricky. You're gonna have to calculate something at some point, and yeah, the faster you run down your clock, the less time you have later on. And at a certain point, you're just gonna be forced to play based on intuition. So I would rather we just make the intuitive moves right now while they're a little bit easier, versus later when the game is definitely going to be very complicated. Okay, clock is a little blurry. Anamaya, I saw, just played queen from b6 to h6. So she is not giving her opponent a break in trying to attack. She's calculating mate in every variation. She wants to make sure that if her opponent blunders, she has used enough time for the game to count for the training program. Exactly right, Zandibach. You hear that, Jesse? You hear that? The people are terrified of games not counting for the training program. So they're just sitting on their hands, stalling the position. They're like, what if Jesse doesn't think this is a serious game? Hey, you guys, my opponent blundered on move 5 and lost a piece. Does this still count as like a game? Poor Dojo. People don't have enough time even to play like full classical games. We're restricting that. Oh, Crab says one time they were watching their friend's game, and their opponent's Russian dad ran him out of the playing hall. Ouch. Ouch. Well, yeah, generally you're allowed to watch your friend's game. We are rooting for Alex, of course. Alex is our student. Okay, rook a8 played. She wanted to do this one a couple minutes ago. Better late than never. And now I think we're going to see queen takes queen pretty quickly. I don't really... Yeah, not seeing a lot of options here. But sometimes, like, for her, rook a8 was kind of obvious. I'm sure he was expecting it as well. Sometimes when your opponent takes time on an obvious move, you're like, you just, I don't know, it's hard to like respond immediately. You just kind of want to just sit for a second, like, all right, am I missing something? Like, why did they just spend so much time? But no, White's move looks pretty forced here, and he's gonna do it. Oh wait, gotta write the move down first. It's very good. And queen takes queen. All right, and we'll see what black takes back with. Rook takes feels more natural, so you can double on the e-file. King takes doesn't seem crazy though, so that you can put your rooks on the g-file. And rook takes played. Are spectators allowed in the playing hall? It depends on the tournament. If it's like a small closed event, like U.S. Championship, right, or Sinkfield Cup, something like that, pre-COVID, they would allow spectators. Post-COVID, a lot of these smaller events, they don't. We're also in a kind of post-cheating era, so tournaments are kind of afraid of spectators being able to communicate with the players. King F2 played rather quickly. It's a little scary to leave the king on a dark square, but my guess is he wants to go king f3. This really begs the question whether black can play f3 right now. Because if black could play f3, this would be a big move. Yeah, let's think about f3 here. Because that would be really nice, because if white can clog with king f3, then our job gets harder. Bishop f6, also very logical, Oscar. Yeah, absolutely. Bishop f6. Yeah, I don't like this king f2, king f3. This feels kind of loose. Bishop f6, actually, I think is a great move. King f3. You can take here. You can also consider rook e7 first. No, then rook e1. No. Bishop takes h4. Yeah, this would be too much. Yeah, not liking king f2. I really like bishop f6, actually. f3 might be good as well, but bishop f6 feels very unpleasant. Come on, Alex. Forcing moves. She does seem ready to play something. Just not sure what it is. But yeah, f3, rook f4. Oh wow, Vartsanan, you got your opponent forfeited. Dang. They pretended to go to the restaurant. Was that the recent Vegas tournament or a past one? Bishop f6 played. Let's go. Let's go. Alex with the power move. Let's go. And folks, that is why you never want to hang your pawns with check. That is why you always leave a note. Yeah, good call, Oscar. Right, so most open tournaments do allow spectators. Like in this tournament, you see there's people in the background. I don't think everyone is a player. It often does depend on the tournament these days. Some allow spectators, some don't. Some say only if you're a player, then you can walk around and stuff. But yeah. This last one, dang. What section were you in? I heard of a couple cheating cases at National Open. Sadly. Oh, this is looking really nice for black now. Because this is just a huge pawn. Because you can plug the g file with bishop g3. Okay, king f3 played. Yeah, what else? What else? I mean, you have to get off of the check. Now I think just take. Under 1700. Was there? I know there was one player. I forget in which section, but they started like 4-0 and then they dropped out or they withdrew or, you know, something happened. But yeah, post-cheating world, I meant, you know, like now that cheating has been opened up as a big problem and everyone is thinking about it kind of all the time. Bishop takes h4. Played. Now rook is attacked. Rook e2 feels very, very reasonable. I think then black could either consider bishop g3. G5 also is possible. Yeah, rook e2 played. I would be a little concerned that the bishop is like gets stuck, but I think black has more than enough to break through here. But you could also consider something like this. How about this line here? Okay, can't take. There's going to be a skewer. Rook g1, g5, h4, g4 check, king takes, and then bishop d4, right? Game over. Game over. Maybe we missed a mate. Did we miss a mate? This I'm sure is also good, but okay, this is easy. So I kind of like bishop f6 because bishop on g3 is fine. I would still rather have the bishop on e5 and then like g5, g4, but bishop on g3 also I think is very simple, and then you can support with g5 here. Actually, this feels very simple now that I look at it. Now that I think at it, g5, king f6, rook g7, rook eg8, g4. The pawns just run. Okay, this is the position. Something like, it's like 15 minutes for Alex, but position is getting simpler and easier to play. USCF arbiter wanted to give the kid a 5-minute penalty for going to his parent who had a phone during the game. Yeah, it's just wild. I get it though. Like when you're like a tournament, you know, director, tournament organizer, you just want everyone to be happy. Like you don't want to forfeit players. You just want to play, you know, pay their entry fee, go show up, play some games, play, not fight, not argue. You know, oh, there's a little dispute. Okay, how about 5-minute penalty? You know, no forfeiting. Everyone's happy. You don't want the kid's mom to get upset, right? That you're forfeiting him. But yeah, that is wild. Good thing you stood up for yourself. I think that's very important. A lot of chess players during the tournament, you know, they're not aware of their rights. But a lot of times, like, if you feel like your opponent is doing something wrong, or you feel like the tournament director is making a bad ruling, like you are allowed to ask for a higher arbiter or someone else. You know, like you're allowed to appeal. It's very important not to just number one, like just take what your opponent is saying. Sometimes like people just like listen to their opponent, you know, like, oh, okay. Number two, like even the arbiter might not always be correct. So you have to advocate for yourself. Yeah. So yeah, bishop g3 here to me looks very simple. Bishop f6 also looks quite fine. G5 as well, with the idea of going bishop g3. Yeah, Stan, in general, there aren't many disputes in a tournament. Like, if you imagine National Open, there's like 1,000 players in the tournament hall. And for the most part, things would be very quiet for like hours. And I don't even think there was like a dispute even like every round, right? They're quite rare that something happens. Like most players in general are trying to play fairly and not break the rules and follow the rules. I'm sure in the beginner sections there's more let's say infractions and rule breaking and stuff like that, but yeah, in general, like as long as you keep your cool, there's not too much to worry about. Okay, looks like Alex played bishop f6. I do like this move because the bishop here might be more active. Rook g1 played, and now g5 on the board. Nice. I like this g5 because it shows, it means, yeah, she's seen this h4, g4 check already. And if black gets h4, g4, then these pawns are very, very strong. So white can't really push h4 now. And that means black is going to have a chance to kind of secure with bishop e5, bishop d4, I think, could be coming soon. Okay, pawn is hanging. So king h6 first. First things first, we go king h6, and then bishop d4, rook e7. And black should win this one. Now with 2 extra pawns, there should be a breakthrough. For instance, putting the bishop on e3, rook e7. We can start targeting this guy. That said, I do kind of think bishop g3, although it looks like the bishop is out of the game, I do kind of think this would have made black's play easier, right? Because you're just going, I don't know what white does, but you're just going g5, king f6, rook g7, g4, and just breaking through, right? It's like, it's hard to see how white creates this blockade. Yes, thank you, Dexter. I could have told you that as well. Whoops, let's get back to the live board. Because she's up 2 pawns. Up 2 pawns. All right, it's rook e8. Takes, here, exclam, here, takes. And then here, and here. Hey, SM Pooh Bear, thanks for subbing. Okay, still a big time advantage for white, but at this point I think it doesn't matter that much. As long as Alex can keep her cool, not go crazy, you know, when she starts running like under 10 minutes, maybe under 5 minutes, just kind of keep making good moves. Should be able to convert, but we'll see if her nerves hold up, because it's very tough when you haven't played OTB in a while. You got to play on the 30-second increments. So I always tell people to practice. Practicing OTB is the best way to get ready for OTB. It's like if you want to run a marathon, you want to practice for a marathon, you got to do some running. Right? You can't just like watch videos about running all day and say you're preparing. You got to do some running. So if you want to get ready for OTB chess, you got to play some OTB. You got to make moves on the board. OTB, physical. This works for most sports. Right? If you want to bike a marathon, you can't just watch videos about biking. I'm sure it helps a little bit, but at some point you're going to have to get on the bicycle and practice. So you got to practice the thing. That's why chess, it's so illusory, because you think like, okay, you're watching chess, you're kind of like working your brain, you're doing chess, but it's only when you're actually playing that you really feel like, oh, like shoot, like this is what chess is. Like this is hard. Like, and then every time when people play, they're like, yeah, I got to do this more often because like I need this practice. So everyone says. Thanks for the gifted sub, Orbitals. Yeah, math as well. I mean, everything. I get it. I mean, people are like, oh, I just want to be ready before I go sit down and play. But playing is the training. Playing is part of the process. Playing is how you get better. It's how you sharpen up those skills. Oh, we lost our analysis. I don't like that. I don't like that the board just did that. All right, it was takes. Don't like that we lost that. Here, takes, here, g5. Okay, now white to play. It's really not a fun endgame for white. You basically just have to sit on your position and hope for some chances. Really not a lot for white to do. Maybe I would play a4 at some point. I'm not even sure. Because from black's point of view, I would definitely be interested in looking for a4 at some point to create, definitely to open the a file if possible. But thinking on a4, white would respond b4, and then maybe we'd push a3. MD Knight, thanks for gifting the sub. Well, you guys both gifted a sub to Stan. So how does that work? Stan just gets 2 months. Nice. Oh, and we've got the hype train going. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, rook GG2 played. Yeah, Felix, I would have done the second board, but it wasn't doing this before. Like before, it was allowing us to just stay on the analysis, and it wasn't updating the board. So it didn't seem like we needed one. Before they were just making moves and. Okay, that's what it's doing now. I can see the DGT board is like, it's keeping up with the moves. Like they traded queens, king f2, and that's good. It's letting us stay on the live position. So I think I don't know why it glitched, but I think it's working now. All right, rook GG2. White has assumed the position. Now I think black just has to keep improving things. This is like a classic play for 2 results position. White has very little counterplay. The only way white can win is if black blunders. But black has to win the game. Because if white is just going to sit, which it looks like they're just going to sit and move back and forth, black needs to figure out a way to actually make progress and convert the full point. So first thing I would do, I think, is put the king on h6 to get out of the pin, free up the bishop by defending the pawn. This is basically, I feel, about improving the pieces, like one at a time. So king goes to h6, bishop maybe goes to d4, maybe e3, rook goes to e7, and we start trying to improve piece by piece. Rook e5. Maybe black can consider doubling on the g file as well. Playing for g4, that seems like a very reasonable breakthrough. The one thing is we don't want to allow bishop f5 if we can avoid it. I don't think it's a threat immediately. At least I'm not sure it is, but that is a move we don't want to. So maybe black can consider rook e5 as well. Rook e5 could be a move. We're talking about practice. Yeah, how did I not say that whole time during the rant? How did I not drop a single? We're talking about practice, folks. Maybe I should try it again. Should I try it again? We'll try it again for the YouTube. For the YouTube. Okay. Because people need to hear this, The thing is about OTB. The best way to get better at OTB is to practice OTB. It's like the best way to get better at anything, right? You wouldn't just watch videos about running. If you're trying to run a marathon, you would actually practice. You would go and run, right? If you're trying to become a tennis player, you wouldn't just watch videos about tennis all day. You'd actually have to go and practice. You'd have to practice the thing that you're going to do. Anything you want to do, you got to go and practice it. That's how you get better, okay? We're talking about practice, folks. We're talking about practice, right? It's not just the game. The game is the practice, right? The game is training. All right, I'm done. Thank you for following. Okay, king h6 played. Good move. Let's see, time situation, 13 minutes. 13 minutes. Now we'll get it, no worries. Thanks, MG. Thanks. Oh, h4 played, hold on. He's doing something, but I think we're very happy to see this. I think we're really happy to see this though. Because g4, he can take, he doesn't lose the rook, but we are going to grab on h4 and get 2 connected pass pawns. So if this is the plan with h4, then I think we're very, very happy to see this. Yeah. Because then it's really bad. We get rook e7, bishop g5. I think this is just going to be over very soon. Rook f3 might be I mean, how do you, yeah, rook f3. Rook f3, folks. If we get this on the board, oh my god. Oh my god. Gold coins. Gold coins on the board. Yeah, she's pushing. She's pushing. She already had g4 in mind for a while. I mean, when she played bishop f6, she had already seen that she's going to have this this idea here, because could have already been played. So g4, very nice. And I think he didn't realize. Like, I mean, he had played rook e2 because he's not losing the rook. He's not getting mated. But yeah, bishop takes h4 is going to be a very serious problem. There won't be any extra time, so they just have the 30-second increments. But fortunately, I don't think she's going to need it, because I think the position now is starting to play itself, which is very nice. July 24th, going to a tournament in which there are mostly stronger players. Any advice for 1,800 FIDE beating 2,000? Yeah, you got to practice. You got to practice beating 2,000. Try to play chess, do your best, show up with your best effort. My advice for most people playing tournaments, try to enjoy the game. Like, try to enjoy the process. You might get beat up a little bit. The games might be very tough, but try to enjoy the process of like playing the game, preparing, fighting at the board, really trying hard, working hard, so on and so forth. Okay. We have moves. Oh, he played bishop f5. So king takes f4 played. Then black took on h4. By the way, bishop g5 check might have been a move as well, just because it's very pretty. Double check, forcing this. Then bishop f4 check, forcing king f2. But I don't quite see the knockout here. Maybe g3. So this might have been good for black, but then we don't win the pawn, so it's a little bit risky. So she took on h4. Now bishop f5 played. But bishop f5 is definitely walking into some stuff. Is this on the board? Yeah, but no, this doesn't look right at all. Bishop g5, I think, just wins on the spot. I think that's just a piece. Rook f8 is also good. Yeah, I think this is really. But the game was over. I mean, he could have played king e3, but on king e3, there's this one. Everything is collapsing for white. So can't really blame the kid at this point. I think it's just a very difficult position, but I think this should be pretty simple win for Alex. It'd be nice if there was some rook f5, rook f8 mate, but unfortunately the king runs out. But yeah, I think this or bishop g5 just picks up the piece pretty cleanly. Check, let's say king g3, we can take on e2. White has no in-between moves, and then take on f5. Yeah, bishop g5 played, and I think we're going to see resignation here pretty soon. Rook e8 also was very winning. I didn't see what white was going to do here. If check, king can come back. Oh, there's this idea. Oh, I didn't. Okay, this is fair enough. This is fair enough. This would actually be causing some problems. Okay, so yeah, bishop g5 definitely like 10 times simpler and cleaner. King g3. Now rook takes e2 should win the piece. I think he realizes he's kind of in trouble. Go, Alex, go. Rook takes e2 played. Nice. That's probably going to be GG. So folks, stick around. Alex said she'll come on the stream and talk to us for a bit after her game. So hopefully they finish soon, and she'll walk out of the room. And I think he resigned. That's it. That's it. He gave her the old okay. He gave her the old okay. That's GG. Well done, Alex. Oh, there's the water bottle. Finally we see the clear board at the end of the game. Amazing. Amazing. All right. Okay, you guys got to put the kings on the board. And the arbiter put, oh, what a nice guy. What a champ. Puts the water bottle back. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir, for doing that. What a champ. Good Samaritan right there. Good Samaritan. You dropped this, king. All right, you put the kings on the dark squares, guys. On the dark squares. Very simple. Because black wins the game, so you put the kings on e5, d4. As they're explaining now. If white won the game, you would have put the kings on e4, d5. If it's a draw, you put the kings on one color each, e4, e5. But yeah, GG from Alex. Hopefully we get her on the stream soon so she can discuss her game. Really well-played game overall, actually. You know, going back, I didn't love her decision. Bishop g4 takes e2. Jesse liked it, honestly. He was a fan. But I did not believe in it. But it worked out for her beautifully. And then she found this very nice h6 move. That was excellent. That was excellent. H6, h5, taking on h4, taking on f4, and then she converted the endgame really well. All right, let's go to... Where's our game position? Here it is. Bishop f5. Takes, and that was resigns. Okay, looks like the phone's moving. I think we'll get Alex back soon. Where does Alex live? Actually, I forgot. I think she's somewhere in Europe. Either France or Spain. Maybe her chat knows. All right, we are leaving the tournament hall, so we're gonna get to talk to her soon. I'm just gonna wait for her to unmute, and then we'll unmute. Hey, Bill, thanks for subscribing. Okay, your camera seems to have frozen a bit. Oh, we hear you. Hey, we hear you. Yeah, congrats. We saw the game. Well played.
Doesn't work.
Oh, sorry, I just turned your mic on, so people should be able to hear you now. My bad, guys, my bad.
Yeah. I think I was scared because it was different colors of bishop, and I didn't want to draw that. But I think, I don't know, he made a mistake, and I just won another pawn, and then a piece.
Yeah, no, kid played well. We were thinking he's pretty underrated, but you played really really well. I loved h6, h5. That was a great find.
H6, h5. Ah, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that was very strong.
I was not sure with the opening because I don't like too much the English, but it was okay. I think the f5. I don't know if that's theory or not.
Right. Yeah, a little risky, but I thought it was okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I think you made it work just fine.
Okay, I'm glad. And also I didn't want to exchange the bishops because I didn't want like he had a strong knight on. What was that? E4.
On
Yeah,
e4? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
How come you didn't play, I was wondering, bishop h3, and instead you play bishop f5?
Bishop if I was thinking that too, to change that bishops. So I was not sure. Yeah, I because that's a bad bishop, maybe because my own structure. But I was thinking maybe I can put the knight on d4. Yeah, and I don't know. Yeah, but I saw like bishop a h6.
Oh, bishop h6.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
You
that was
said
another
bishop
idea.
h3.
Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah,
bishop h3. Yeah, yeah. Instead of like when you play bishop
yeah,
f5, bishop g2.
yeah, yeah. Okay, I was thinking that is not a very good bishop, but I was not sure. His bishop of light squares.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Think so.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm
I
very
was just
happy.
curious. No, I think you play really well,
Yeah.
especially for the first game.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for commenting. I don't know how was everything.
Oh, it was
I
great.
think you. Yeah.
I think. I think we
Yeah.
had a good time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Your chat's very excited for you.
Yeah. I want to read the chat, but I don't know if I can. If
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Might be hard.
Maybe for the next round, I will bring my iPad so I can read the chat.
So your next game is
Okay.
tomorrow morning?
Yes, tomorrow morning. Yeah, so I think it's at 10 a.m.
Are you going to try to stream all your games?
I will try. Yeah, I will try to stream all my games. Yeah.
Cool. Fun.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, great. Well,
Yeah.
we'll let you go, I
Thank
guess.
you.
Get some rest.
Yeah. Yeah, I will try. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And thank you again, Kostya. Thank you.
Of course, of course. Yeah, this was fun. I'm looking forward to seeing more games. And
Thank
to
you.
cheering on.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I think I can do a good tournament. I will try my best. I didn't play since 2 years ago, so this is my first tournament, and I'm happy to be back. It's different, the feeling. I like it.
Yeah. No, definitely a good
Yeah,
start. So yeah, hopefully you keep
yeah,
enjoying the games.
yeah. Thank you so much,
Of course, of course.
everyone, and thank you, Kostya too. Bye,
All right, we'll see ya. Take care.
bye, bye. Take care. You too. Bye.
Alrighty, folks. Well, she seemed to be in good spirits. Hopefully keeps up the good play tomorrow. That's going to do it for this stream. I'll probably be able to watch at least one or two more of her games, hopefully later this week. The morning games are like 10 a.m. Europe time, which is like 2 a.m. Central time. So it's not, the morning games will probably be someone else, not us, but hopefully we'll be back for the more evening rounds later on. So that'll be fun.